Good afternoon, guys. Nice to be with you again. English from A to Z with Mr. Aziz Zuhair. Today, the focus is going to be on the grammar exam. And I have tried to answer the questions given to you. So the question says, underline, identify the clauses in the passage, noun clauses, adverbial clauses, and adjective clauses. Okay, so here we have 3 chapters: noun clauses, adjective clauses, and adverbial clauses. And then we are going to state their functions. Let's start. Old people are always saying that the young are not what they used to be. In this sentence, we have 2 clauses. The first one is that, which is that the young are not. This is a noun clause. And it functions as a direct object of what? Of the verb to say. After it, we find what they used to be. This is another noun clause. And this noun clause is subject complement. So in the first sentence, we have 2 noun clauses, one as direct object and one as subject complement. Events which the older generation remembers vividly are only past history. So, which the older generation remembers vividly, this is a restrictive adjective clause. Because here, which refers to the antecedent, which is events. And no use of comma automatically means restrictive. So it is a restrictive adjective clause. We move to number 4 that precedes it. So here it's a restrictive adjective clause. The antecedent is the one, and that refers to the one. Number 5, the old always think they know best. So they know best here, this is a noun clause. Maybe you will ask me why. So here we have what we call the missing subordinate conjunction, which is that. It is omitted, because we could say the old always think that. So that is implicit. It is not explicit. It is hidden. So they know best is a noun clause as direct object of the verb to think. For the simple reason that they have been around a bit longer. That they have been around a bit longer, this is another noun clause. But it's a little bit tricky here. You should pay attention, because here it is preceded by, that is preceded by, for the simple reason, and therefore it is a not positive noun clause. How can I understand this? Is that when I say he believes in the idea that, so the idea that it's similar to the simple reason that. So in this case, it is appositive. So we call it a not positive noun and clause. Number 7, that their values are being threatened. So itself it's a noun clause. But what kind of noun clause? Concerning the function. So here, they don't like to feel. So feel is a linking verb here. Because all the time, if we want to take the structure of the verb to feel, we are going to say, I feel happy. So it is always followed by an adjective. Okay, so here, to feel that their values are being threatened, it's a noun clause as subject complement. Concerning what? Concerning the verb to feel. It's not like that guides this noun clause, because after like we have the verb to feel, and what counts, what is very important, is the verb to feel, not the verb to like, because the noun clause is near, approaches or is near the verb to feel. Number 8, that the older generation has created the best of all possible words. So this one, it's a noun clause. Why? Because we have the verb to believe, and the verb to believe, which means that this noun clause as direct object of the verb to believe. If they were given complete freedom, it's clear. It's an adverbial clause of condition because it is introduced by the subordinate conjunction if. That all men in the world should wear gray suits. So this is a noun clause because the verb to say, this is the verb, and what comes after it is a noun clause as direct object. 11. If we turn our minds to more serious matters. So this is an adverbial clause of condition. 12. That human differences could best be solved by violent means. This is a noun clause as direct object. 13. The older generation can answer. This is a restrictive adjective clause. How shall I know? Because here we could say these are not questions which or that, the older generation can answer. So we call it a restrictive adjective clause introduced by the missing relative pronoun, which or that, the same, no problem. If you should write only, it is a restrictive adjective clause. If they are prepared to admit it, this is an adverbial clause of condition. They could learn. One of the biggest lessons they could learn is, so they could learn, it is a restrictive adjective clause introduced by the missing relative pronoun, which is which. One of the biggest lessons which they could learn is that enjoyment is not sinful. That enjoyment is not sinful, that it is a noun clause as subject complement because it comes after is, subject complement. 17, one could apply to all aspects of life. This is a restrictive adjective clause, the same, introduced by the missing relative pronoun, which is which, because we could say enjoyment is a principle which one could apply to all aspects of life. So pay attention here. This is 3 questions which are tricky. Only a few students are going to be able to know it. 18, because the young have grown up under the shadow of the bomb. This is an adverbial clause of cause or reason. So these are, in this passage, you should have 18 clauses. 18 clauses. Here are the answers in front of you. And this is how you should answer your questions. Okay? So, grammar, yes, it's very easy, and at the same time, it's very difficult. It is very easy when you practice a lot. And you should not just rely on the university lectures. And at the same time, it is difficult for those students or university students who do not make any effort. So grammar is an accurate discipline. It requires massive efforts if you want to understand it. Okay? Because we have different cases. And each case is completely different from another case. Okay, so you should follow the video. These are the answers. You should follow the video in a very slow manner. Write down everything that you don't understand. And maybe if you have any question, you can ask. You are welcome. No problem. You can ask. No problem. So these are all the answers. And anyone who has any question and maybe you have not understood something, you are welcome to ask. Okay? So thank you so much. And please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.